Sunita ma'am, you are muted.
Sunita ma'am, you're the co-host. You can unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah, can you hear me? I was unable to unmute it till now.
Okay,
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. So, yeah. Shall we start, Poppy?
Yes.
I don't know. 1 second. I'm unable to turn on video also. I don't know what happened. It is become little small, my screen. Just give me a second, Poppy. I'm just doing this. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, you can hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, shall we begin, Poppy? I'm beginning this session. Good afternoon to the dignitaries, colleagues, and dear friends. A warm welcome to the technical session 3 on professional career skills. Career skills are the abilities you have and that enable you to do your job and to manage your career. These are over and above the skills and technical knowledge you need to perform this task that are part of your job. And individual professional skills are extremely important in the business world. This professional skill of an employee helps to know how enthusiastic the employee is about the occupation and how much pride they take in completing their work. These career skills are of your knowledge and experience will determine your success in decision making, influencing others, and getting the job done in a well manner. They will ensure that you are able to get the job you want, negotiate your salary, and are prepared for your future. The one that you want, not the one others dictated you to do. To know more about the professional and career skills, I would like to introduce Dr. Lakshmi Mantha is an English language business communication consultant. She is a game-oriented active learning facilitator. Madam has a PhD in business communication, English for specific purpose. She is certified professional trainer in design and facilitation of experiential language learning from IIPE Canada, NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, and Prevention of Sexual Harassment. Madam has authored many books and published papers in national and international journals. Ma'am has presently working for Usmania University Department of English, University College of Engineering as assistant professor, and also with Center for English Language Training as a communication consultant. As a facilitator, Madam has professionally trained and transformed thousands of participants in areas of communicative English, business communication, voice and diction, personality enhancement, and grooming among students and executives. Public speaking, presentation skills, communication skills, etc. Apart from soft skills and communicative English training, her experience as an English language consultant also includes editing and proofreading. Her motto is managing people and guiding them towards professional excellence. Apart from in-house university programs, she provides clients and organizations with value-added training and consultancy services in areas like speaking for success, communication skills, personality enhancement, and grooming. Customer service skills, effective presentation skills, public speaking, interview skills, power dressing, etc. Ma'am has conducted workshops for several universities, colleges, schools, and corporate sector. Ma'am believes that people sometimes limit their own progress by building barriers and self-defeating prophecies, and she enjoys assisting them to successfully overcome them. Her love for this profession comes from the absolute joy in helping others to feel good about themselves and help them win all obstacles in life. Once again, I heartily welcome Dr. Lakshmi Mantha, Madam, with green greetings on behalf of CWC and
Thank
St. Anne's
you.
College for Women. Thank you, Madam. Thank you for your presence. Now I hand over the session to you. I
Thank
welcome you
you.
once again, ma'am.
Thank you, Sunita ma'am. That was a wonderful introduction. Hello, participants. All of you are here, I hope. So today my topic is going to be on resume building, interview skills, and presentation skills. This is a topic assigned to me. So let's straight away start the session. I will share the screen. Just a minute. I need to check where that PPT is. Let me pull this down. Uh, let's start with the interview skills. That's very important when it comes to career building. So let's try to understand the ins and outs of interviewing. What are the ins and outs of interviewing? Most of us, what we don't understand is interview is a very simple thing. It is a structured meeting between you and your employer. Like how you take an appointment with the doctor, you go to the doctor will ask you a few questions about the problems and you give answers. Based on the answers you give, the doctor prescribes the medicine. You will get treated based on the answers you provide to the doctor, right? If you give wrong answers, he will give wrong treatment. It is exactly like that. It is a structured meeting between you and your employer. Interviewing is a skill. That's why we call that as interview skills. It is like riding a bike. The more you participate, the better you become. With each interview, you learn. The mistakes what you commit in one interview will become a learning experience for the next interview. So practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the better you will get at interviews. Interviewing is a two-way street. It is never a one-way street, right? Employers are attempting to determine if you are an appropriate fit for the job and their culture. They are trying to analyze whether you will fit into their culture. Likewise, you decide if the environment is right for you, right? You are also deciding whether you are willing to work in that organization. They will also decide whether you will work in their organization. So it is never a one-way street. It is always a two-way street. Now, when it comes to interviews, there are different types of interviews. These are broadly classified like this. The first interview type is phone interview. Usually when there is mass recruiting going on, like they want to recruit, let's say, 1,000 employees, 500 employees, it is very difficult for them to call all of them on their campus and interview them. So what they do is they do elimination over the phone. They will first go through your resume. They will shortlist your resume. After shortlisting your resume, they will call. They will call on phone, and then they will speak to you for let's say 2 minutes or so to evaluate whether you're the right candidate or not. So it is a screening process to narrow down the pool of applicants. And this is one type of interview. There is another type of interview, which is one-to-one interview. Mostly this happens when you go to them, when you go on to their campus or the organization which invites you for an interview. One-to-one interview happens. Most common style, the potential employer could be a HR manager, or it could be a sales manager, or it could be whatever, a general manager, or whoever wants to interview will sit across the table and they will interview you. So it's called as one-on-one interview. Then you have something which is very popular these days, that is panel or group interview. What they do is one candidate is interviewed by a panel. Panel means two or more. Mostly it will be 3 panel. That is a popular panel. 3 will be the popular panel. At times 2. Sometimes you will find 5 also. Depends on the seriousness of the job. Even some sort of university, government university interviews or IAS, IPS, such interviews will have 10, 12. The panel, the number depends, but minimum 2 and maximum can be any number. And most popular in most of the organization is 3 panel. So there'll be a panel, a group, which will interview the individual, and they will shoot questions. Anyone can ask you questions, and you should be prepared to answer. Then the last type of interview is second or on-site interview. This is mostly for technical related roles or some sort of a software related roles, where a problem will be given to you. They will ask you to identify the problem, or they will ask you to what is wrong with that. For example, they will give you a code and they will ask you to run the code and identify where the bugs are. Bug means problem. Or if it is a technical interview, they will give you for example, let's say that an electrical circuit is given, and they will ask you to identify what exactly are the problems in the circuit. Can be anything. On-site interview. So this is mostly for checking the technical skills of a person. Otherwise, the first 3 interviews will dominantly or predominantly will check your soft skills, whereas the last type will check your hard skills. What are hard skills? Your technical skills. So these are the types of interviews. Then coming to pre-interview preparation. In pre-interview preparation, research position, company and industry. Can you just give me a minute? Some phone call is coming, important call. Hello? Please wait there only. You're calling from SC? Yeah, please wait there. She will come. Please wait at CELT. Yeah. So research your position, company and industry. These are the things you need to do before going for an interview, which is called as a pre-interview preparation. Know yourself and be able to articulate skills, strengths, accomplishments, and career goals. You should know what are your long-term goals, what are your short-term goals, what are your mid-term goals, because this is what they will ask you when they interview, because the career objective, what you write in your resume, talks about your goal setting. When we cover resume, we'll come to that. Then Prepare necessary materials like copies of resume, copies of certificates, both hard copies and soft copies you need to be ready with. This is what is called as pre-interview preparation. Arriving. Be sure to allow yourself plenty of time to arrive at your destination. Try to arrive 10 to 15 minutes early at the site to allow you to park, walk to the interview, use the restroom, or just gather yourself. Never go nick of the time, right? At least half an hour before, I would say you need to reach the destination. It's very, very important because sometimes some sort of jam may happen, traffic jam, lift may not work when you reach to the organization, some power failure will be there. You will be forced to climb the stairs, or like, the parking, you expect it to be in the building. Sometimes outside vehicles are not allowed inside the building. You need to park somewhere far and then walk down. Can be numerous problems you will encounter, so you need to arrive at least half an hour before the scheduled time. Greetings and introduction. Only one chance you will get to make a first impression. No one will allow you to enter the room again. There is no second chance given to you. So there's only one chance to make good first impression. Dress appropriately, keep a smile on your face, maintain eye contact, firm handshake, remain poised and confident throughout the process. Body language, very important, very important part of interviewing is your body language. What signals are you sending to the interviewer? Positive signals, negative signals. Leaning forward is equal to interest. Smiling is equal to friendly. Nodding is equal to attentive and alert. Eye contact is equal to curious and focused. These are the few signals which are positive. But when it comes to negative, crossed arms is equal to defensive. Fidgeting hands or tapping feet is considered nervous or bored. Lack of eye contact, untrustworthy. Leaning back, discomfort, or overconfident. So these are some of the negative signals you need to avoid during an interview process. Now, the different types of questions you encounter during an interview. There are different types of questions which are called as standard or traditional questions. This is what we call it as traditional interviewing. Some questions come under this category, which target your education, work, experiences, and career goals. Example, tell me about yourself. What are your greatest strengths? What are your greatest weaknesses? Why did you choose to interview with us? What did you like most about your last job, least about your last job? What are your short and long-term career goals? All such questions usually are repeated in every interview, so they are called as standard or traditional questions. There is a second type of questions which are called as behavioral questions. These focus on actions or behaviors in the previous setting. Past behavior provides clues to the future behavior to the interviewer. Like based on your past actions, he will try to judge your traits, your characteristics, your behavior patterns. Sample questions asked during interview are, Describe a time you had to make a difficult decision. Tell me about a time you worked under a deadline. What do you do when a team member is not pulling his or her weight? Think about a time you made a mistake. What did you learn from it? The most common question I encounter when I talk about behavioral questions is, ma'am, we are freshers. We don't have any work experience. How do you expect us to answer these questions? The answer is, there is no need for you to give examples from your professional life. You can also give your examples from your school life, college life, university life. It can be a personal experience. You can talk about anything when it comes to this, because freshers will not have any work experience to talk about. Right. For example, what do you do when a team member is not pulling his or her weight? You will immediately, a lot of students will ask, we never worked in a professional team. Not necessarily. In college, you would have worked in teams, or in schools, you would have worked in teams. You can just come up with an example. For behavioral questions, please make a note, participants. You should never say, I don't have an answer. This is where storytelling happens. Especially behavioral questions comes under qualitative. There are two types of questions, quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative questions, you cannot lie. You cannot tell stories. What are quantitative questions? They are figures, percentages, which can be proved on paper, your marks, your degrees, your certificates, all that comes under quantitative. But when it comes to qualitative, you can give them a story, an impressive story, right? You cannot say, tell me a time you had to make a difficult decision. The answer cannot be, no, I never had a time like that. No one will buy that answer, because in life, if you have lived 20 years of your life being a degree student, definitely you would have experienced at some point of time some sort of difficulty where you had to make a difficult decision. For example, you're blessed, you never had any such difficulty in your life. Then also you need to come up with a story which makes them believe. This is where spontaneity comes into picture. Behavioral questions is where you need to be quite spontaneous, and you need to quickly construct a story. You should make the story should be something like, they should believe in it the minute they listen to it. So you should be prepared for these type of questions. You need to take a list of such questions and get prepared, so that at some point of time you can relate one answer to another question also. So this is where a lot of preparedness is required. Then coming to the next type of questions, inappropriate or unethical questions. Sunita ma'am or Poppy, I just want to know, we'll be meeting the same participants tomorrow?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. They will be
No,
from
right?
no
Different
they-
set of participants. So I need to cover everything today itself.
today
Yes,
itself. Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Yes, that is what I wanted to know. Thank you. So, types of interview questions, inappropriate or unethical questions. Sometimes, due to some reasons, they will ask you not very ethical but unethical questions, which will probe into your private life or personal background. It can be questions on your ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, disabilities, martial art, anything, marital status, can be anything which is not related to the job. Then it's your choice. The choice is yours. whether you want to answer that question or you can politely refuse to answer that question. Don't get agitated. Politely answer, say that it's a personal question which I prefer not to answer. For example, do you have a disability? There are certain disabilities which are not visible, like mental disabilities, hearing problems, fits. These are not visible, or neither they can be proved immediately. So it is up to you whether you want to answer that particular question or not. What is your opinion about premarital sex? This particular question was asked by a corporate to all the girls who attended. There was an uproar when the HR person asked this particular question. Then there were a lot of reactions happened in the interview room. Some girls cried. Some girls said that we don't belong to such families. We come from very decent families. Some girls said, different people handle this question in a different way. When such questions are asked, it is up to you to decide how you want to answer. Certain jobs, maybe certain environments, they are going to send you to certain countries you will be going to on job visits, might need certain harsh questions because there'll be an intercultural backgrounds and intercultural exchanges. So when such things happen, is the candidate prepared to handle such particular situations? Probably it's a psychometric thing. They do psychometric analysis. All these questions will come under EQ, that is emotional quotient, right? Certain questions will check your IQ, that is intelligence quotient. Certain questions will check your EQs. How are you emotionally balanced? Can you handle a new environment? Can you work among, for example, in an organization, there are more men and less women. Can you handle it? Or reverse, more women and less men. Can the men handle it? So all such questions, will you come on a date, was asked by one corporate. These are the questions required for a particular job due to certain reasons they ask. So it is up to you. You can politely refuse, no problem at all. But don't bring that emotional outburst in front of the interviewer. Then coming to the last thing, after all the questions, the interviewer will give you a chance to ask them questions. So questions asked by the interviewee, that is you, to determine if you're an appropriate fit for the company and position. Prepare a list of questions for the interviewer. For example, what type of assignments can I expect within the first year? What is the biggest challenge facing this department right now? What skills are you looking for this particular position I'm interviewing for? What are the skills you are looking for? What can be my next course of action after this interview? Will there be interdepartmental transfer, intercities transfer, inter-country transfer, international transfers? Can be related to job. Everything should be related to job. So don't ask what sort of a salary you're going to pay me. Will you select me? These sort of questions you should not ask. You should ask related to the position you're interviewing for. These are called as types of interview questions. General interview strategies. Be prepared to talk about yourself and your experiences. As I told you, at one stage, you need to master the art of storytelling. This only for qualitative, not for quantitative. Quantitative, no storytelling. Wherever proof is required, you need to put the proof across the table. Provide specific and concrete examples of your results and accomplishments. Remain positive, enthusiastic, poised, and confident throughout the interview process. Remember, An interview is a formal conversation. So avoid the fillers. Don't use filler words like I know, I think, indecisive phrases. When a question is asked, when you're answering, don't use a phrase, I think, means you're not very sure about it. I guess, probably, pretty good. These are all indecisive phrases. Never use them while answering. Think before speaking. Take few seconds. Don't vomit the minute the question is asked. Just give him an impression that you are accumulating all your thoughts before you're answering the question. Don't take too long, just few seconds, and then start answering. Avoid long verbose answers. Limit your response to 1 or 2 minutes until and unless it's a technical question where you need to answer at length. Otherwise, all the general questions don't go beyond 1.5 minutes. If you do not hear or understand the question, ask them to repeat or clarify it for you, right? If you don't understand something, please ask them and ask them to clarify it for you. Then remain calm, relaxed, and be yourself. Try to focus on the message you're trying to convey, not how well you're performing in the interview. Okay, now till there, we will stop there. So do you have any questions related to that? You can raise the questions. We will answer. Then I will take you to the next. Can they type?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
If you
please.
have any questions, you can type in the
Please
chat.
type in the chat box.
Or if you want to ask, you can raise your hand. I
Raise
can.
your hand also. Yes. No questions. Can we go ahead? Yes. Akshara, Sheetal.
Yeah, please ask if you have any questions.
Is everything clear? Can you type that at least? Okay, I assume that everything is clear to them. Yes, ma'am, it's clear. Thank you. Now I'm going to play a video for you. That is, what types of interview skills should the student have? There are no types of interview skills. Whatever we spoke about, you need to polish all of those. Your body language, your language, have good command on your subject, and research the position you're going for, and guess or assume what questions they're going to ask in that particular position. Be prepared. Ma'am, if we have physical disability, how should you address? Physical disability doesn't mean that you don't have ability, because when you are sending your resume, it is be clear about it. When you're sending the resume, if they are shortlisting you, that means that they are interested. So if they ask you about your physical disability, you say that I have come this far in my life. I have reached to this particular level in my life, and I don't think anything can stop me. Is that clear? How we should cover your fear? As I told you, it is a skill. It can be built only through practice. You need to do certain mock sessions. You need to schedule. These days, everything is available online. So you need to schedule certain what do you call, some unknown person can be your senior, can interview you, or you can request your professor to interview you, or you can ask your family friends to interview you. So do certain mock sessions so that your fear is, you reduce on that particular part of it when you are attending the interview, right? You should do some mock interviews before you go for the main interview. That is very essential. Or you can even go to interview, or mock interview services are available. There are manpower agencies which will help you to, like you submit your resume there, they will interview you and they'll tell you like what are your what are the things you need to improve. Especially your seniors can come to aid, or your professors can come to aid, or some neighbor can interview you, someone whom you are not very close to, but still they can give you constructive criticism. Select a person who gives you constructive criticism saying that this is the area you need to improve. This is an area. Don't select a person who is very harsh on you. You will lose confidence. Is that clear? Yes. So now I'm going to play a video.
Ma'am, one more question is there. What are the questions they will ask us? I think you have
1 minute,
already-
1 minute, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
One question Rekha has asked. What are the questions they will ask us? I think you have already covered that part.
Yes, I have covered. We can't cover everything, but I have covered the types of interview questions already. They will ask us, madam. That's what I told you, standard interview questions, behavioral interview questions, all those questions will be asked, right? Now, let's watch this video.
Arguably the most crucial part of the job search. An interview can make or break an opportunity. So to help you really prepare.
Ma'am, video, we cannot see the video.
You can't see the video?
Oh, no. No, ma'am.
1 minute, 1 minute. I need to do something else. 1 minute.
You have to share the screen, ma'am.
It is already shared, but the thing is, we need to share again. 1 minute. I need to stop it and share again. Can you see it now? Can you?
No, ma'am, we cannot see. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
No. Yes.
You can see now?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, it is gone again. You have muted and stopped the shared also. Sharing slide. You are muted, ma'am. Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself.
You're saying no? 1 minute.
Yes.
Again, I need to share. 1 minute. Just give me a minute.
Arguably the most.
That. Mm. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am, we can see. You can start. Yeah.
Most crucial part of the job search. An interview can make or break an opportunity. So to help you really prepare, We're going to dissect and analyze an entire interview from start to finish. I'll be sprinkling in a mix of tips about body language, etiquette, and how to answer common questions. Like, when exactly does the interview start? How do you deal with nerves? And how soon can you follow up? For years, athletes have used science and data analysis to improve. Now, we are doing the same for job seekers everywhere. This is job science. Meet Anya, a recent grad majoring in business administration. She's interviewing for an entry-level project management position. Note her posture: head up, shoulders pulled back, no slouching, and no laid backness. The interview begins the minute you walk into the building. Anya treats everyone in the office with respect while keeping eye contact. From security personnel to receptionists, anyone you run into on your way in could be asked to give feedback on you. It's normal to be nervous. When nerves kick in, the natural human response is to take short breaths and breathe faster. Stay calm by taking a deep breath before entering. Hold it, count to 3, and then slowly breathe out. Pause. First, ace those introductions. Greet everyone in a way that is authentic to you, like, hey, nice to meet you, and then say their name. That one always works. You're more likely to remember their name if you say it out loud when you first meet. A lot of the time, small talk comes up before any questions. It's good to have a few current events or topics in mind. You can't possibly predict what they're going to ask, but you can practice answering the common ones, like, why do you want to work here? What makes you unique? Let's see what our interviewer asks.
So I want to hear more. Tell me a little about your experience and what you'd bring to this role.
Pause. When this is asked, they're looking to learn what makes you stand out. Be honest with your answers. That means having to pause and think for a second. That is all right. Think about your past experiences and how the role lines up with your future goals. It never hurts to be honest.
Great question. Ever since I was young, I've always been the organized one in my family. Whether it was helping my parents schedule vacations or color coordinating my closet, naturally that lifestyle got me here, project management. I've been a people person for as long as I can remember. Plain and simple, I love team building and making sure everyone has a part. Just the other month.
Oh, just really quick, don't speak negatively about previous places you've worked. Instead, talk about what you've learned.
I helped lead a team of 5 to deliver a 3-week sales project a few days ahead of schedule. I'd love to bring these things here.
Perfect. A response like this not only answers the question, but also shows off her personality. But remember, there's no one right way to interview and answer questions. Be yourself and let your personality shine. Be aware of your movements. Practice polite, confident body language. Subtly miming your interviewer's posture can actually create a sense of connection. Of all places, unnecessary movements are hard to ignore in an interview. Whether it's tapping your fingers or bouncing your leg, be aware and stay present.
Hey, it's been great chatting so far. I guess my last question is, do you have any questions for me?
Ooh, this is a hot one. Make sure to have a short list of questions for your employer in your back pocket. Ask the questions you would if you got the job. Tomorrow was your first day. What do you want to know from the manager? Even if you don't have any burning questions, asking a few shows that you did your homework and that you really care. Some include, what do you like best about working here? What are some mistakes people have made in this position? What is a goal you're currently working toward? How will my performance be evaluated?
Well, I did read that you're expanding your software team next quarter. I'm curious how you plan to carry that out.
The interview isn't actually over. Always follow up within 24 hours with a thank you email to the hiring manager. This can be a quick note simply thanking them for their time, or a longer one that elaborates on some of the things you talked about. It's key to leaving a lasting impression. This was the breakdown of an interview. Till next time.
Have you been to an interview recently, been perfectly qualified for the role, You've answered all the questions correctly, but still been rejected. Well, the answer could lie in your body language. Recent studies suggest that only 7% of your communication are the actual words you say. 38% are certain vocal elements like your intonation, but 55% is your nonverbal. Things like your facial expression, your gestures, your posture. So this video is going to look at the messages you've been sending out with your body language and how to tweak those to make sure you're sending out all the right signals at your next interview. So think about your body posture. A very natural thing for people to do is to slouch in the chair or fold their arms. And this looks like you're making yourself smaller, wrapping yourself up. And the signal you're giving off to the interviewer is that you're defensive or nervous. Instead, open up your body. Don't cross your legs or fold your arms, but engage slightly forward from the waist. And this will give the appearance to the interviewer that you're interested. If you're jiggling about a lot in the chair, changing your body posture, or you're playing with the button on your shirt or the ring or other objects, you're going to appear anxious and nervous. And certainly the interviewer is going to be less inclined to have confidence in you. So a really good tip is to first slow your breathing down. This will slow your heart rate and make you feel less nervy. Keep your hand gestures steady and only to emphasize a point. Palm upwards signifies that what you're saying is honest and trustworthy. Touching your heart signifies that what you're saying is genuine. Steepling is a sign of confidence. Conversely, clasping your hands is a sign of self-comfort and anxiety. So make sure you avoid these. Mirroring the interviewer is an effective technique, but it needs to be done very subtly. Mirroring hand movements or positive gestures, waiting 10 seconds though before you do it yourself. You can also mirror your speech. So their vocabulary, their jargon, the rate or volume of their speech. People trust those that are similar to themselves. So this makes the interviewer feel at ease, and you're more likely to build rapport with them. This is so important. Interviewees often avoid the gaze of the interviewer or they look down. But by looking at the interviewer's eyes, you're asserting your confidence, your trustworthiness. Instead of staring at the interviewer, alternate your gaze between the left eye, the right eye, the mouth, maybe every 3 seconds, just enough to see the color of the interviewer's eyes. For panel interviews, make sure you look at everybody, but specifically focus your attention on the person who's asking you the question or is speaking at the time. To avoid line signals, the main rule is avoid touching your face. So especially your nose, your mouth, your ears, your sideburns. These are all signs that will suggest to your interviewer that you're being dishonest with the way that you're answering their questions. So the handshake is an obvious one, but so many people get this wrong. It's the unspoken word that initiates conversation in any social or professional get-together. Too firm, and you'll seem too dominant. Too weak, and you'll seem underconfident. Instead, always initiate the handshake, match the interviewer's grip, apply the 1-2 second rule, smile, and repeat their name. By putting these body language tips into practice, you'll be giving off the right impression at your next interview. Now, all you need to worry about is what you're actually going to say.
Those are a few tips on body language, how it should be, your handshake, your smile, your facial expressions, your postures, your gestures, and how to take a pause before answering the questions. All that, what we spoke about, you saw in that particular video. Any doubts there? You can type in the chat. Okay, if you don't have any doubts, I'll take you further. That is dress code for interviews. Now, grooming, very important part of interviewing process. As we said, You will get only one impression to impress the interviewer. Men, there are no men here, so I'm skipping the men part of it. We will just go to the women grooming. Now, typically a salwar kameez, formal shirts, trousers, or a sari you may wear, or you may wear a tunic with a pair of formal trousers. This is what is the accepted dress code in India, right? Then coming to, actually skirts are also good, but skirts not many prefer. Only certain industries prefer, like air hostess, hospitality, only they prefer skirts. Otherwise, formal trousers, formal shirts, tunics, saris, and salwar kameezes. Please avoid plunging necklines, preferably sleeveless you avoid for interviews, and tight fitting clothes. Go for pleasing colors. Don't go for bright, festive colors, what we call it, like maroons, reds, orange. Those colors you need to avoid. You need to go for pastels, or something which is light, brown, creams, whites. This is what is preferred. Then shoes and sandals, 1.5-inch heels or standard. These are called as pumps, which should not make any noise on the floor you're walking. You may wear a pair of smaller heels or a flat also. Stick to black-brown pairs. Be sure that everything is intact, no chipped off and all that, broken, chipped off. No need to go and buy expensive ones, but whatever you're wearing, it should be neat. Don't wear colorful sandals. Avoid heels with bling. Those stone ones you need to avoid. Avoid white color, because usually white looks very dirty if it is not maintained properly. Right? Bags. Apart from working bag, if you're carrying an additional bag, preferably carry a professional black or brown bag. No fancy bags allowed. You need to carry a professional handbag, if at all you prefer to carry one. Right? Accessories. Earrings, wear stubs or small rings, which is shown on the upper part. Do not wear hoops or dangling earrings, because when you're moving your head, these also will move along with you. They are not very appealing. It is very distracting to the interviewer. So wear something which sticks to your body. Then bracelets or a single bangle. Don't wear both, any one. Don't wear chunky ones like the shown in the below pictures. Such chunky ones or too many are not allowed, because when you move your hand, they make noise. Only one bangle is allowed, any one in the hand. Then rings, keep them simple, non-chunky. Chains, wear chains with small lockets or small, what you call pendants. Don't wear chunky bangles. Even if you're married, you're newly married, then you have to remove all that symbols, what you're seeing there, and you need to wear a plain one single bangle and go. No chunky jewelry allowed. Common tips, pen is very essential. Carry one good pen. Any pen is fine, Parker or any one good pen. What you see there, that will be a good pen. Don't carry use and throw pens. Your spectacles, you have to be very, that it should not have any, thumb impressions or dirt on it. Clean it. Check the frame. It should not be faded. Hankies, you can carry white, or for women, you can carry the hanky which is shown over there. All these are essential. You need to carry a hanky. It is very essential that you need to carry. By mistake, if the temperature is very cold inside, you may sneeze, or sometimes out of nervousness, you may cough. The etiquette says that you need to remove the hanky and you need to just wipe it and keep it inside. Then folders. You need to carry all your certificates in a good folder like this. These folders are available for 200 rupees or so. You need to arrange all the certificates in reverse chronological order. That is degree first, inter next, 10th. So reverse chronological order, or any other extra certificates also in that order. And you need to carry them like this. Like you can see that picture. The woman who's carrying that particular folder, you can see that particular picture. Like that, you need to carry the folder. Then deodorants. Don't go with some sort of strong perfumes, not allowed. Mild deodorants, preferably lime based, because it gives a freshness. It is allowed because most of the time, if you feel like you sweat a lot, or the climate is hot, at that time a mild deodorant will help. Not very strong ones, definitely not allowed. Perfumes not allowed. Ethers not allowed. All that is not allowed. Only a mild deo is allowed. So these are the things you need to keep in mind when you are going for a interview. You need to dress accordingly and you need to appear very neat. No need to go and buy immediately anything new. Whatever you have from your wardrobe, you select a dress or a sari or anything what you're comfortable with, in which you are very confident. That is very important, right? You should feel that, yes, I look good in this. Such a thing you need to select out of that, and then you need to present yourself in a proper manner to the interviewer. That's all about dress code. Any doubts over there? You can ask me any questions if you want over there. For dress code, do you have any questions? No, ma'am, it's clear. Very good. Now, the most common question you will come across in interview is, tell me about yourself. This is the first question. It is an ice-breaking question, very important question which you will come across in interviews, right? So what exactly is this? Tell me about yourself, and how you should answer this particular question. Tell me about yourself. Let's watch a video on it.
I still remember my first interview. I was so nervous. I entered the room and the interviewer's first question was, tell me about yourself. In my nervousness, I said, hi, I'm doing MBBS. The problem was, I was an engineering graduate. Hashtag true story. I've given a lot of interviews after that, and I've taken a lot of interviews too. And all of them have taught me this, that you always need to be prepared to answer, tell me about yourself. Because the way you answer this question decides whether the interviewers will listen to you throughout the rest of the interview or will switch to their phones and pretend to listen to you. Call me crazy, but I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did during my first interview. So today, by the end of this video, you will learn how to answer this question confidently, make a great first impression, and eventually land more job offers. So in today's video, we're going to understand what answer the interviewer wants. Second, I'll give you a formula to answer, tell me about yourself, for any job that you want to apply. And third, and the most important point, suppose English is not your first language. Then towards the end, I'll give you a few techniques and tell you how you can speak in English fluently. But before that, if you like what I'm saying, make sure you hit that big fat like button. Because that tells me that I should make more career videos. Let's begin. Tell me about yourself. Whenever an interview asks me this question, I'm like, I only don't know about myself. What will I tell you? But guess what? It is a trick question. The interviewers don't want to know about you. They only want to know two things. Number one, they want to know what is most important to you. So if you start by saying, hi, I'm Ravi. I really like watching cricket. Last night, I saw Kohli hit 10,000, but Sachin is still God. Then the interviewer will be like, bye-bye. Sachin might be important. Kohli might also be important. But right now, at this moment, this job should be the most important to you. And how do you prove that? By giving them reasons why they should choose you instead of 50 other people waiting outside. And the second and the most important point they want to know is whether you're fit for this job or not. See, why is the interviewer sitting there? To hire someone, right? So they want to know if your qualifications, your experience, your attitude are fit for that role. And that brings us to the tell me about yourself formula. The tell me about yourself formula has 3 elements to it. Element number 1, who you are. The first line should summarize your experience or your education, while you use some adjectives to define your personality. So if you're an experienced professional, a good way to start can be, hi, I'm Priya. I'm an innovative HR manager with 7 years of work experience, managing all aspects of HR function, from recruitment to training to benefits for Fortune 500 companies. Do you see how it is strictly professional and to the point? If you're a student, then you can say something like, hi, I'm Varun. I'm a hardworking engineering graduate, specialized in computer science engineering with an overall CGPA of so on and so forth. Element number 2, your accomplishments. This is the place where you talk about your best work, something that you're proud of. But avoid using superlatives like, I am the best salesperson in this country. Because when somebody uses superlatives, not only does it show arrogance, but also says that that person is ignorant. So your next line should be a list of your accomplishments combined with proof of performance. For example, I have led the sales of my company for 3 years and had the opportunity to bring $3 million worth of new business during that time. So this statement is humble, talks about an achievement, and adds a number to it, which makes it believable. You can even go on and mention your second best achievement. Now, in case you're a student and have no experience at all, don't worry. You can talk about the training you have received and how those skills relate to the job that you're applying to. Along with my degree, I completed .NET, Java, and SQL courses on Coursera. Learning these new technologies have helped me develop my final year project titled XYZ. It was during this project I discovered that I am a team player, and I so on and so forth. Element number 3, how you are fit for this job. This is the last element of the formula, and this is what most people forget. You need to end your answer by telling them why you are applying and how you are fit for this job. Don't say things like, I'm having issues with my boss, which is why I'm looking for new opportunities. Hey, it might be true, but you don't have to be blunt about it. Plus, this line says that you're interested in a job, any job, and not this one in particular. So read the job description carefully and tell them how your skills are aligned to their requirements. Remember, you have just 1 minute or 90 seconds maximum to answer this question. Don't bore the interviewer by telling your life story. Also, if you have any further interview related questions, feel free to comment and ask me. Now comes the difficult part. What to do if you are worried about your grammar? See, more often than not, your interview is not going to be a grammar Nazi. So it's okay to make a few mistakes here and there. You can still get away with it as long as you use the following techniques. Number 1, be confident and maintain good eye contact with your interviewer. See, I'm talking to you, right? Imagine if instead of looking at you, I start looking at that wall or the ceiling. Getting my point? Second point, whenever you are answering, don't talk like a robot and use a single tone. Don't get me wrong, I'm not asking you to be Hrithik Roshan from Main Prem Ki Diwani. But use excitement to convey passion and slow down whenever you have to, because it makes your story more interesting. And third, remember, a good interview is a conversation, not a monologue. So let your interviewer ask questions and listen to what they're asking or saying. If you take care of these three things, your grammatical mistakes, if any, will go unnoticed. See, it's not a big deal. English, like any other language, can be learned with practice. If you want to know how I learned to speak in English fluently, then check out this video. I've left the link in the description. Now you go get that job and I will go and work on my next career.
Right. So that's tell me about yourself. A very tricky question. That's a question where interviewers will give you 90 seconds max to analyze your answer, and that's a make or a break question. It either can get you a job or you may lose a job. So you have to be extremely careful when you're answering. Tell me about yourself. Can we wear abaya for interview? That is your religious dress code. If you're not allowed to go without it, then you should, right? If you have any flexibility of going without it, then it's fine. If you think that that's how you're going to be throughout your life, you should present yourself in totality. So there is no need to fear about it. That's what I feel. Afreen, is that clear? Can we ignore bangles watch when you're going for an interview? Yes, you can. If you don't want to wear anything, you can go bare hands. No problem. Any more questions? What about hairstyle? Hairstyle is something these days, don't leave your hair open. That is one thing very important, right? Don't leave your hair open. Either you clip it up, that clutch clips are coming these days. You can keep the clutch clip or a simple low pony, what we call it as, not high pony. High pony is a big no-no. You know, when you're moving your head, the high pony also moves like this. Right. So a low pony or a clutch, but don't leave your hair open because we are not going for some fashion industry. We are simple graduate students. We are going for some technical jobs. So we need to present ourselves like that. Yes, you can wear shoes. No problem. Accomplishments in sports. Yes, of course you can. Any sort of accomplishment is an accomplishment. It can be academic or it can be sports or it can be extracurricular, co-curricular, it can be anything. Yes, you can talk about them. This is a very, very important question. Tell me about yourself. She has given a lot of inputs on it. So you need to first identify who you are. Don't speak about your family until asked for. Don't speak about it. Yes, Saida Amtul. You can type.
You can unmute yourself also.
Yeah.
I think by mistake, yes,
Okay to wear in an interview. Suit means what sort of a suit you're talking about? A formal suit? Or, the Punjabi suit? Which one? Formal suit, of course, if you're comfortable, nothing like that. Yes. If you're comfortable, you can wear it and go. Yes. say website to see more videos like this, ma'am. Just go to YouTube and type interview related videos. You will get thousands of them. No website is required. YouTube is enough. Any more questions? Okay. Now, ma'am, Urban Flight is a channel which can help. Okay, that's what the channel what I played right now. That is the channel it is, and there are so many videos, foreign videos are there, Indian videos are there, local language there, English there. No, it's your comfort level. Whichever video helps you to understand better, you can watch them. Right, there is no one particular video. You can watch any video, but there are some in Telugu, some in English, some in Hindi, some are international videos, like I showed Indeed video, which is an international video. I showed you Tell Me About Yourself video, that's an Indian video. It's your comfort level. Whichever video you want, you can watch. Now we need to go into resume. Right? How to build a resume. What is resume? Right? How to build a resume. First, you need to understand the difference between a CV and a resume. Curriculum vitae. CV is a curriculum vitae and resume. What exactly is the difference? A lot of students get confused between these two. Indian students have a lot of confusion between CV and resume. So let's try to understand the difference between CV and resume first.
What is the difference between a CV and a resume? Why do you need to have both of these? And when do you have to use each of those? I'm George, founder of the Catapult Your Career Academy. And in this video series, I share with you practical advice and actionable knowledge as to how you can grow your career faster and how you can ace that job application process if that's what you're going through. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. Now on to today's topic. Jumping in straight ahead, a CV is, put very simply, a comprehensive document of everything and anything you have ever done in your professional life ever since high school. All the presentations you have given, all the publications you have written, all the degrees, educational degrees you have earned, all the work you have performed, the requirements, the responsibilities, the achievements you've had. Literally, you list everything out there, okay? Now, this document is a standard document. It's a one-size-fits-all document. You don't personalize it in any ways. So you keep your CV, and if somebody asks for your comprehensive CV, that's what you send them. Now, as you can imagine, this document can get quite long, right? Now, if you're in high school, it can be still just a one-pager, which is totally fine, right? You get to enjoy other benefits if you're at that stage in your life. But if you have counted already a few more years, like I have, then your CV gets long. Like mine, for example, is about 3.5 pages already. And yours can get as long as to 3, 4, 5, 6 pages, as long as, like, depending on how many years you have counted already and how much stuff you have done over those years, right? So this is your CV. Now, on the other hand, your resume is a short, as short as possible, description that is personalized presentation of you for a specific occasion. So ideally, your resume is a one-pager. And in your resume, you don't list everything. You pick the most relevant things from your CV that present you in the best possible light for the specific position you're applying or for the specific case. You can even tailor the way you write those things, and you should tailor the way you write and you present yourself so that the person, the reader of your resume, understands why you're really the best fit for the particular position that you're applying for. So you always, if you're writing your resume, do your best to make it a one-pager. My resume is a one-pager, and most people's resumes are one-pagers. If you're a complete beast and you have so much experience that is distinct and relevant for a particular position, your resume can get up to 2 pages. That is okay. But in the vast majority of cases, with 99% of all my clients with whom we work one-on-one, they usually come up with 2 pages with me. And then, for example, if they're applying for, let's say, a senior marketing job, we decide that the fact that they've done a junior marketing internship 5 years ago, it's not really relevant at this point anymore. So we remove that. The fact that they've been a waiter 5 years ago or 6, 7 years ago doesn't really add too much value to their current application. We remove this. Things that we can say instead of 3 words with 1 word, explanations which take 2, 3 sentences, we say in 1 sentence, and we always manage to get a resume down to a 1 page. If you need help with this, if you cannot manage this, feel free to reach out directly to me on georgemanilov.com. I'm there to help you in one-on-one capacity if that's what you need. Now, when do you use each of those? So a CV, the comprehensive one, you use almost exclusively in academia and research. And so if you're applying for a PhD, master's, you're always expected to be sending your comprehensive CV document, right? But in almost all other occasions, people might ask for you, even if they say a CV, like you shouldn't be confused because sometimes people use these words interchangeably. Even I, in my trainings, because people use them as synonyms, I'll sometimes use both words as synonyms as well. But this shouldn't confuse you. The way you should think about this is more about the context. If it's academia and research, or explicitly somebody asks you for your long-term form CV, then you send this. But in almost every other case, you're expected to send your resume, your tailored presentation of yourself for the specific occasion. Now, at this point, you may say, well, then I don't really need a CV, right? I just need to have my resume. I would actually strongly advise you to keep a CV as well. And the reason why I have a CV, although I'm not in academia and research, is because I tend to forget a lot. And we tend to forget a lot, to be honest. I tend to forget the presentations I've given, the stuff I've done 3 years from now, 5 years from now, even a year from now. Sometimes I forget, oh, I actually did this, That's why I have my comprehensive record, because every time I send my resume, I don't just copy and paste it. I always tailor it for the recipient. And so I always browse quickly through my casual resume, to my casual CV, and I pick the things which make me most relevant for the particular application I'm filling, or the things which can also that might help, things which can show that I have some commonality with the recipient. So, for example, if I'm sending my application to somebody who I know has done beekeeping, I will include the fact that I spent a month beekeeping in one of my summers during in university. You may say, traditionally, I would think this is a rather irrelevant experience to what I'm doing now. But if the other guy is doing it, I'll point this out. So he says, hey, we're like each other. We share some commonalities. So we have something on which we can start building off our conversation and our relationship. So keep your casual CV, and every time you write your resume, go through it. You'll be surprised how many times you pick things which you've forgotten, which will present you in a better light for a specific position you're applying for. Hope that was helpful, ladies and gentlemen. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to get more such useful videos.
So hope you understood the difference between CV and resume. As a fresher, you will be writing a resume, and the resume will be 1 page. Don't go beyond 1 page. 1 page resume is expected. If you feel that you have too many accomplishments, then you can go up to 1.5 pages, not beyond that. CV is something which you will keep updating, because as he said, we have the tendency of forgetting. We humans are like that. So CV is something like a document which you will maintain. So whenever it's required to update your resume, you will go back to CV, you will pick some things. And mostly CV is written in academic situations, like when you're applying for a PhD, when you're applying for your international masters, they will ask for a CV where it can be long. But as a fresher, you need to only write a resume. Maximum you can go up to is 1.5 pages. And if you can keep 1 page, that's wonderful. 1-page resumes are very famous these days, right? You need to make your resume in 1 page only. You can use applications like Canva, or there are different applications where you can go and build Google Docs, where you have these already set formats are available. You can use those set formats and prepare wonderful 1-page resumes, right? You can explore that. We all prefer 1-page resumes. Is that clear? Any doubts? Any doubts there? No, okay, that's great. So let's wind up with one more video on how to write a resume. Please go to Google Docs and you check, already set resume formats are there. You will find wonderful resumes. 1-page resumes will look like this. I will show it to you quickly so that we can wind up. These are 1-page resumes. You can see here. Can you see that? That's Elon Musk's resume. We can go to somebody's, for example, let's take this 1-page resume. Yes, can you see this 1-page resume here? This is 1-page resume, right? This formats are already available. You need to go and fill the required thing in that particular format. That's it. Google Docs, Canva, different applications are there where you can build your 1-page resumes. Is that clear? Is it clear to all of you? Yes, good. That's great. Now we'll wind up with one video on how to write a resume for freshers and experienced.
All right, so I'm going to be honest with you. I have never really liked writing a resume because I have to worry about font, grammar, structure. And in the end, it all comes down to listing down my achievements. And it hurts to find out that I don't have many. But achievements or no achievements, we need a job, right? Because apart from the money it gets you, having a job in the early stages of your career makes you a professional. It makes you disciplined. And both of these combined will get you closer to wealth, health, and even love. And the first step to all of this is to write a resume. I know writing a resume sounds complicated, but that's what I'm here for. So it doesn't matter if you're a fresher or an experienced professional or a homemaker trying to find a part-time job. Today, by the end of this video, you will be surprised to see how easy it is to write a resume that will get you an interview call. So in today's video, we're going to learn what is it that interviewers look for in a resume. Second, we're going to learn how to structure a resume. Third, I will type a resume in front of you so that you know exactly what to put in which section. But the most important point, in the end, I will give you a bonus tip that will take your resume to the next level. Before we begin, let me clarify that you are free to tweak your resume the way you want, because there's no certified way to writing a resume. The only thing that's certified is this, that you and I will learn something new and useful every week. So if you want to learn things that haven't been taught in your school, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that bell. Suppose this is the job that we are applying for the role of a blockchain developer. Now, even though I took an example of an IT job, you can apply the same principles for banking, education, hotel management, sales, or any other job that you like. Now, the problem is, no matter what job you're applying for, there will be hundreds, if not thousands of people applying for the same job. With these many profiles, the interviewer will hardly spend around 6 seconds looking at your resume. See, it's like being on Tinder. If your profile is not appealing at the first glance, then you will be left swiped right away because a lot of other profiles waiting to be reviewed, which is why your resume should not be like a long, boring list. It should be like an advertisement, short, to the point, and crispy. And that brings us to the resume structure. To help you understand resume structure better, I'm going to write it with you. Let's use Google Docs because it's free. Just so that we're clear, this video is not sponsored by Google Docs. You can use Microsoft Word or any other resume builder that you like. I've left the link of Google Docs in the description. Go to that link, click on this button, and select the template that says resume. As you can see, the structure is already built. Now let's understand what to fill in these sections. We're first going to build an experienced person's profile and then make a few changes to this profile so that it becomes a fresher's profile. So let's assume that we're going to apply for this role of a blockchain developer. Interestingly, even my husband Sugandh has passed. So I'll make 3 different sections. So blockchain research group at a Facebook page. Instead, you can write ways, try to be specific about your achievements. Suppose your words mentioned in the job description throughout your experience section, because that way the hiring manager will know that you have the experience that the team needs. And second point, always try to be specific about your achievements. Suppose you're applying for a social media role, then don't just mention managed a Facebook page. Instead, you can write revamped a business page on Facebook that has led to over 70,000 followers, up by 40% in 2 months, and has led to a 4% increase in revenue. See the difference? Because you have added a number to your accomplishment, it gives the hiring manager confidence in your abilities. So try to add a number and quantify as many bullet points as possible. Next is education. Now, in case you've been working for quite some time, then it's best. So I'll mention that. Beneath that in a minute. Next comes skills. Typically for then you can mention your community awards, certifications, publications, the awards that he has received, and the fact that he has modified this profile so that it becomes a fresher's profile. Now, in case you're a fresher or are applying for an entry-level job, then the resume pretty much remains the same, except for 3 changes. Number 1, education. If you're a fresher, mention your education before your experience. List down your institution name, degree, and time period in reverse chronological order up to your 10th standard. And don't forget to have a separate column for your percentage or your CGPA. Next is experience. I know if you're a fresher, there are not many things that you can write under the experience section. But here are a few things that you can mention. If you're an engineer, you would have done some mini projects in every semester. This is the perfect time to mention all of that. Write the name of the project and in 1 to 2 lines, describe what is that project about. Mention any internships you've done. Mention any paper you've worked on with your faculty. Even if you used to take tuition for kids or worked at McDonald's part-time to pay your college fees, mention that because it tells the hiring manager that you're committed and have developed a sense of professionalism early in your life. The third and the final change is this. In case you're a student, there are a lot of things that you can mention under the additional section. The best being your competitive exam score, be it IIT, JEE, MSET, or even your CAT rank. In case you have not given any of these, then no problem. Then you can mention the college fest that you have participated in, hackathons, coding contests, paper presentation contests. You can even write about the initiatives you took while you were at college, like taking care of your college website, newsletter, or even maintaining your own blog. So those were the 3 key differences between a fresher's profile and an experienced person's profile. But before you hit export, here are 3 important points to remember. Number 1, Keep your resume to 1 page maximum. If you have information that is relevant to the position that you're applying to, then go ahead and add an extra page. But if you're adding fluff just for the sake of adding pages, then your resume will suffer.
Second, always proofread and double check your resume, because nothing hurts a resume more than a grammatical error.
But the third and the most important point, never ever lie in your resume. If you don't have the skills, you might not get this job. But if you lie, then you might not be called for any future jobs the company might have. Sometimes it's okay to not have the skills. Most companies would be ready to train you. But honesty is a skill that no company compromises on. So that's how you write a resume. If you want me to make a separate video about how to crack a job interview or how to get a promotion, then comment and let me know. Now, before I tell you what is the bonus tip, if you know someone who's struggling with writing a resume, then take a moment and share this video with them. And hit that big fat like button if you want me to make more career videos. And finally, here's the bonus tip. Always maintain a live career document. Whenever you do something like take part in a fest, organize a hackathon, or build a tool for your team, maintain a document and write it down. Most of the times we don't know what to write in our resume because we forget what we have done. But if you get into the habit of noting everything down, not only will it build your resume, but it'll also give you a list of things to talk about in your appraisal for your next promotion. On that thought, I promise to see you again next week. Until then, keep fighting the
You have seen like how to build a resume, especially freshers. You can add so many things, your college fairs, your group activities, or any trips you have visited, some industrial trips, or any sort of charity events, because you will not be having any experience to show over there. So always take a ready-made resume builder and try to build one-page resumes. Is that clear? Can we end on that note? Do you have any questions? Any questions, participants? No. Okay, can one or two give the feedback on the session? Was it helpful? Okay.
Can anyone give the live feedback? I can unmute you.
It was very much helpful. Yes, helpful. Okay, thank you. Anyone would like to give a live feedback? Would you like to come and speak? Ma'am is ready to unmute you. It's amazing. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Anyone would like to speak? You can raise your hand. She will unmute you. Very informative. Can we add any skills or talents also? Yes, of course. All that will go into additional section, right? All your skills, your talent, you can put star marks. Already it is there. If you have, let's say, team leadership skills, how many stars? 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, you can mention that. You can select the resume format over there and you can explore it. These ready-made resume formats are wonderful. You can do wonders. Within 10-15 minutes, you can build your resumes, right? Yes, thank you. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Practice from now on. Yes, you need to. That's what it is. Interview means practice. It's practice will make things perfect. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. You can take over.
One second. One girl, she is raising her hand. Shall I unmute her?
Yeah, please do.
Anusha, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, Anusha?
Oh, she doesn't have any doubt. It's
Okay, fine. That's great. So we can wind up, ma'am.
Okay. Poppy,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
shall I? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Lakshmi, ma'am, it was really a great inputs. All whatever you have focused, all the fields are very useful for the students. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow. I'm logging
Yes,
off.
ma'am.
We'll meet you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Thank you, participants. Thank you. Bye.
Ma'am, can you see the screen? I have shared the screen.
Gratitude. Yes, I can see that. Thank you very much.
Token of appreciation, ma'am.
Pardon me? No, Poppy, I didn't get you. What is
This
it?
is a small token of appreciation.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's a little shaky. It's fine. I'm able to see it. Token of gratitude. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye, Sunita ma'am. Bye, Poppy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay, Poppy, you're closing.
Yeah, I'll share the feedback form so that they can get the certificate.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Girls, please fill the feedback form. You will get the certificate.
Poppy, send the link here also. I guess they are not receiving in chat box.
Oh, it is going for 1 second.
Yeah, it came.
It was for one person actually.
Okay. Okay.
Some students, they were chatting personally. So I was thinking from where ma'am is getting questions.
Okay.
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 Today only 100 students certificate you will get. You can try tomorrow.
Okay. Generation 100 per feedback.
Today.
Okay.
Per day 100. No?
Okay. Okay. So rest of, if anybody didn't get any certificate, they can try tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. So all physical sciences only today, and life sciences also.
Life sciences tomorrow, not today.
With BA.
Life sciences and BA.
Okay. Today, I guess MCA, MBA also ma'am asked to join, right? Nirmala ma'am. MCA.
MBA, they have class today, offline class.
Acha. It was nice. Useful only for students, especially.
All the points ma'am has covered.
Yeah.
We got module to follow.
Hmm.
Resource person is following that NCW module.
Okay.
Hmm.
Good, no?
Yeah. I don't know how far students are. Students are sleeping or have taken, I don't know.
No. Many of them are the listening, but
Yeah,
don't
very
know.
interactive, yes.
Yes.
The messaging.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. You can leave, ma. It is opened because of feedback.